Awesome. So here we are again with those hype videos and hype in the chat, which I can already see. Thanks everyone for joining in. Super happy to have you all joining in the yet another speaker live session on Hack This Fall 2.0 YouTube channel. So let me know in the chat how many of you have been very excited for this particular stream. I know SAWO Labs is sponsoring Hack This Fall, which is super great thing as well at the same time. And I know you all have been waiting for this session so that you can just get to know more about how SAWO API work, how you can integrate that in the same manner while you're working on your projects. So let me see some of your excitement in the chat. And meanwhile you do that, let me tell everyone who have been joining for the very first time. Hack This Fall is a hackathon, a very virtual hackathon which we are hosting in the October month. The dates are 22nd to 24th of October. Make sure you visit our website, which is already scrolling down below, which is hackthisfall.tech. Register for the hackathon. Do not even think once before registering because you're gonna get into something which is something extraordinary. You would definitely not love to miss that. So make sure to register. We have almost reached to 1200 registration, which is a super fantastic thing. We have crossed 1200 members on our Discord as well. Make sure you join us over there. All the required links are there in the description. So without a further ado, let me quickly bring Soumaya, our speaker for the day, who will be taking us through everything SAWO. Hi Soumaya, how's it going?
Hey guys, hey Siddharth, it's really good, and we are here again, on a fine Saturday evening. So I'm really excited, and I hope the folks are as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks everyone for spending out your weekends evening with us. Super glad to have you all over here joining us. Cool. So, Soumya, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience before we start?
Yeah, surely. So Sid, yeah, and hey everyone, a very good evening to all of you who are here live with us, present here on this Saturday evening. I am Soumya. I lead the engineering team at SAWO Labs. And as you're aware, SAWO Labs is the partner for this Hack This Fall 2.0 hackathon. And I think we have a challenge as well. I think mostly Sid will be covering on these details. But apart from that, I think we also have this quick link to every folk who's joining in us from Hack This Fall. So I think that will be shared by Sid as well. And once you go there, you can explore, create projects, and integrate. So I mean, we'll be taking that up in the further ado, but for a quick intro, I'm here to help you understand and how you can integrate SAWO API into your projects and get the auth part resolved very quickly rather than thinking and taking time over it. So here I am. Yeah.
Definitely. As you said, authentication partner for Hack This Fall, SAWO Labs is there,
Mhm.
and the challenge which we are gonna announce is definitely super awesome. Make sure you stay tuned for that. We do have amazing prizes for all the challenge winners who uses SAWO API in their project. So this is an opportunity for you to not miss. And also I've shared a link in the chat. Make sure you go to that link, register yourself, and get access to free authentication, I suppose.
Yeah.
Soumya.
Yeah, so
So
that's a referral code thing, which will be, so we already have a basic free trial setup every time a user signs in. But using the referral code, you get the extended capabilities to increase your odds from the basic thing to the code referral. I think that will be around 15th, if I'm correct. Yeah.
yeah, so
There you
extra
go.
bonuses. Make
Yeah,
sure you
definitely,
grab them.
definitely, big time bonuses.
Cool, awesome, fantastic. I see so many fire emojis, so we all are super excited, and I'll allow you to take over this virtual stage and just
Okay.
go ahead. All the very best.
All right. Thank you so much, Sid. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, very good evening to all of one present here, all these folks, and taking the time out on a Saturday evening. It's really great. Uh, yeah, I'm excited as well, and I hope the session here helps out to make you understand what SAWO API is, how you can integrate your SAWO API with your projects. Present it on. No, definitely do share your amazing projects. We really look forward to have a variety of projects coming our way. So we definitely look out to make use and understand of how these projects are built, and accordingly we have the challenge. So once we get there, that would be really amazing if we are able to view some great projects. So for a quick intro, I think I'll just quickly give you an overview of what SAWO Labs is and what we do here. Let me present my screen. Some permission thing, and yeah, okay. Let me try. I'm not able to share from this. Let me quickly join.
No, is meanwhile Soumya tries to share the screen. What you can do is in the chat as well. How many of you are aware about SAWO API and have used them before? Let us know in the chat.
So yeah, I think
Not used, but know about it. Awesome. Cool. I can see the shared screen, Soumya. I'll quickly bring that up once.
yeah.
Perfect. We're good to go.
Okay, great. So as I was saying, right, I'm here to give out a small intro about what SAVO Labs is and how we have built and we have come so far. We recently had and completed the 1 year anniversary on the 28th of August, so that was really amazing for us. And to see how we have grown as a product, as a company, and what all we have included new and the capabilities we have improved our products, and so far a great amazing community we have built of around almost 4K users. And every time they share their valuable feedbacks, their suggestions, their project requests, feature requests. So I mean, these are the couple of amazing channels we have on our community. So I'm anytime you guys feel like joining, you can or anytime. I think the codes are already shared for our Discord links, so you can just have a look at it. Yeah, so this is our main website, the landing page. We have recently revamped it, and you can definitely go try it out and see what we bring in as features, what we have uploaded, what's the difference between if you use SAVO, if you're not using it, why you want to do it. It's a simple 6 line code setup. We are trying to be available across stacks and multiple marketplaces, so the couple of them we are already up and up and coming more, so you can check these out. This is how we easily do the authentication part in 6 minutes. This is something we do not do. And yeah, I mean, you can check out the landing page. I would also uh, take you through the pricing page. We have plans ranging for solo developers or freelancers, and also ranging across the whole teams and businesses from both D2C e-commerce, or from a big business perspective. We have a demo call booking where you can understand what we do, how the product works, why you should do it, and accordingly you can build more clarity over it. We have the docs page linked here. I think I'll be taking that up in the coming time. That will be essentially covering all the checkpoints of how you can integrate SAVO across your projects, uh, across tags, be it a single page, be it a backend framework, anything. So I'll be taking that up. For resources, you can obviously read some of our blogs. We are trying to push more content as soon. And yeah, as I mentioned, the amazing community we have built. So this is where you can quickly go join in, be part of this, try and give us feedbacks, suggestions, anything. Like apart from this, we also have amazing you know general discussions, in the sense ranging across topics. So I'm sure you guys can check that out. uh, we have this darken theme. You can try that out as well, and from here you can directly go and sign up on the dashboard, which is another part and the segment which I'll be covering. So yeah, for the website, I think that would be all. So in the meantime, I would like to share how we have journeyed our way from almost starting off building the product to reaching a stage where we are live integrated with clients. We have this amazing community people who try to integrate our product, try to give us multiple use cases of how they have built it. So as a whole journey, I think we have had the first seed round funding by 100x VC, which was back in August 2020, where the company was initiated, and now we have had multiple series rounds of funding as well. So this is how we are trying to integrate and make the whole passwordless ecosystem, more aware and trying to help and seek out businesses or their developers to help them ease out their whole authentication part. So I mean, it's a very basic integration, as I'll show it further. Like, it's really easy and simple, so you can at any time just go and integrate it. It's seamless, it's hassle free, so you can definitely try that out. In the next segment, I think we can cover off about how we can integrate going through our docs, picking up your framework of choice, and then trying to integrate based on these steps. We also have sample apps hosted on GitHub. You can try them out, see if there's something you can work around with. And if there's anything else you still feel you're not comfortable with, you're always welcome to join the community, where we have active moderators who keep track of this and quickly respond and help out with any sort of troubles you are while integrating your project with SAWO. So yeah. Mm. What I'll do is I'll quickly share my screen again for the docs page. So, yeah. Oh yes, now it's should be shared. So this is how where you can read about what is SAVO, how we build the whole authentication segment, how it is better, where exactly the SDK goes, how is your code working on top of it, and then how you can simulate further accesses, or if you want to maintain sessions, anything. So I'll be covering more in detail. You can try out, as I was mentioning, the features in the landing page as well, so you can try and see what we have, how it is beneficial for you, how it is trying to increase certain utilities and capabilities of your projects in multiple ways if you try to integrate it on a live thing. um, for integrations, as I was mentioning, we give support for multiple stacks, for multiple application frameworks. You can go, we are also there for native Android and iOS development, where you can try out our SDKs on the native development environment. We also provide support for hybrid packages like React Native, Flutter. We have no code platforms where you can just download the plugin, install it on your themes, and then work around with it. We are also present for desktop applications, for particularly Electron. And yeah, as I was mentioning, single page. So I think I'll quickly take you through one of them, making you understand how simple it is and why to do it. So for particular frameworks, we also have a small video which you can refer to while integrating, which will take you through the whole process of how to build a project, create something on the dashboard, use those keys and everything to set up your project, and then integrate it with SAWO API. So you can anytime refer to this. There are minimum requirements. I'm sure everyone is already aware about it. In the sense, you already must be working in the with a couple of these packages for some multiple of your projects. So in that purpose, we have a package library on npm, so you can directly go and download it from there into your projects. You import the main class. Okay, yeah. So these small, I'm highlighting it. These small instruction sets are really helpful in during the whole process. We curated a list of every minor or every major challenge that we figured a couple of developers are facing, or trying to integrate these are some of the FAQs or the frequently asked questions. So we have given out these small instruction sets in between the docs, which you can refer to anytime. I'm sure majorly all of these challenges would be cleared out here itself. But anytime you feel you're still getting stuck, feel free to join our Discord link. Yeah. So yeah, you can check out what will be for your production domain. You are essentially required not to use trailing backslashes with HTTP or HTTPS while putting out the host name. It would be something like this. If it is on a URL like this, you can obviously go, and these are the next steps of how you can integrate it into your projects. This is essentially the main ID of the container where the whole iframe loads. So yeah. Okay, so this essentially is for the added capabilities we can add from the dashboard itself. You just go select the type of field you require as an additional field while signing up. You can add that and get the data. So for every minimum increase of a single particular text field, you need to increase the container height by 50. So something like 350 if one is added, 400 if two more additional fields. Yeah, I mean, you get it. So, and this is essentially the main config object where we define the container ID we have used to log the iframe. Identify type, we provide both SMS and like email and phone number based authentication. So you can make use of any. You can just define which, and this is something you get from the SAWO dashboard. Your API key once you have created your project, your a CSV downloads which has those keys. So I'll be taking it up further. And once that is authenticated, you receive a payload which is not empty. I'll be covering payload in detail in the further section. Uh, this you can use further to directly store it in your databases or give it out on a CRM, maintain sessions, give the logout functionality, anything as per your requirement in the project. This is how you initiate it. This is how you call the form. This is the where whole config object is loaded. And okay, so once all this is done and set up, you have something like this. If it's a phone number, if you're using project based on the email thing, this is how it looks. Okay, yeah, this I'll okay. If somebody wants to directly utilize it, the SAO API as a component, you can also feel free to go and check this out. This would be really helpful if you are already integrated a project and you just quickly want to rectify or figure out the auth part of it. So you can use this. And yeah, as I was saying, if this is done, I mean, you have successfully integrated the API and you can, log in and leave out the authentication hassle for this particular project of yours. Yeah, this is how simple it is. A few lines of code and you directly get the iframe which loads and authenticates your users. You can anytime check out the sample code on React, uh, which is hosted on GitHub, and the respective deployed app for that particular repo. So you can take a look at both of it, figure out how the functionality works on the app, see and read more on the code level, trying to integrate. And if you're getting stuck somewhere, you can always refer to that. And yeah, as I was mentioning, you can always feel free to contact us on the help ask for help channel on our community with the link here. Okay, yeah. So as I mentioned, payload, right? I mean, what we can do with our payload. So this is something important, and I would like to really highlight more on it. So payload, this is a sample payload, how it looks like. Okay, we have a couple of fields like a key value pairing object. You can read more about it here. So this is something which is returned after a successful authentication or a successful login of the user coming to your website. So once that is done, you can essentially maintain sessions. You can store the database if you're maintaining logs for your users. If you want to push it to a campaign, you can directly push it to CRM. If you want to just export CSV, you can maintain that and export it out. Like, you can feel free about doing anything. And so covering these individual keys is a unique string. You can read more. Created on is the timestamp. Identifier is what you select if you want an email or a phone number based thing. Identifier type is something which you get in response of the successful user who signs in or gets authenticated, so you can maintain backend to your database. Verification token is just another unique string which you can use to further re-authenticate or verify your user once signed in from the SAWO API. And custom fields, this, as I was mentioning, for every new custom field you add, this is like an array. You can just go and add and see I've added two fields, so you get something like company name and uh, name in the custom input fields, so you can use to further store essential more details if you were trying to log in your user. Yeah, so I was, as I mentioned, right, storing it into your databases, managing session storage, and pushing it to CRM. So, I mean, these are the three essential things you can do out of this once any user is logged in or authenticated into your web apps, projects, anything, mobile apps as well. Next is why migrating from passwords to Savos passwordless. You can check out and read more about it. This is how essentially you can do it: replicate the current database, put it up, log into your Savo SDK, and then once you receive your payload, you can add in logics to it as per previously as you have built on it, just the way you have built on it. You can read what essentially happens and why we are trying to go the passwordless way, why it is important, and you can just try to figure out how good it would be for your projects. So you can obviously refer to these. Uh, Another thing. Okay, yeah. So I mean, these are the two ones. Okay, one is for the passwords and directly to Savo, and this is one for the single sign-on to Savo. So these are the two things. Yeah, I think for covering the docs, I think this is sufficient. What I'll do now is take you through the creation and how the dashboard works. Let me quickly set it up. Let me present my screen. So this is the dashboard. Once you log into you can make and create your projects, get those API keys, and set it up onto your projects, individual projects. So what I'll do is I'll quickly log in. So yeah, I mean, you saw, right? I mean, the passwordless way, you just enter your email, you're logged into your dashboards. So yeah, these are the couple of projects I've already made. What I'll do is I'll quickly take up these sections individually once I highlight on the projects. I'll take you quickly through all the sections of the navbar, what essentially it is for, and what you can do and make use of it accordingly. We also have the light theme and dark theme, so you can obviously try and check it out. I really like the dark theme, so that's where I've set it up. Uh, I'm sure if you're able to view the screen, I'm sure it's looking fine. But okay, let me just quickly take you through it. Yeah. So we have user guiding setup, which essentially is the key highlighting tool, which tells you what is the next step and how you can go about once you have landed on the dashboard, where to go, how to create your project, how to set it up, and what essentially every part is for. You can have a tour, like a feeling on the of the whole dashboard through user guiding. Yeah. This is the active consumption tracker, like how many auths were used in particular months. You can filter it out as per project, as per week, month, or yearly basis. This is the upgrade plan, which if you want to purchase a plan, you can obviously go and upgrade it. This is a report button which essentially gives all the active consumption trackers of the data points which are being shown here on dashboard as a PDF format. So you can obviously take that, and we have two things we give out on a graph basis. One is the auth use per project, and what is the analysis of the data used, like the number of auths per plan. So you can take a look here. In the project section, I have already created a couple of projects. So what I'll do is I'll take up a dummy project I made. This is essentially a unique ID to identify a project. This is the host name. Since I created a web project, I have set it up on the development environment. So I've created just localhost. There's no HTTPS or backslashes or anything. If localhost does not work for you, you can obviously try out 127.0.0.1. So I think that should do it. This is the API key I was talking about in the config object. So you can make use of it. And this is something essentially used natively on mobile apps development, like the iOS or the Android, or any hybrid applications as well, like React Native or Flutter. So yeah, you can create a delete a project as well, but there's no restrictions on the number of projects you can make. So feel free to explore across stacks, creating multiple projects, one for development, one for production, anything. Like, this is totally up to you. This is essentially the extended capabilities we give out for the particular login form, the iframe which loads into your projects. You can select a project you want to increase the capability for. You can see how it will look if you select a phone or an email thing, as I was showing in the iframe from the docs, how it will look if it's a phone or if it's an email. This is something we give out an extended feature of reCAPTCHA while authenticating your user, so you can filter out the uh, capabilities of users or mark the only regulated users or trusted users who can come in and access your site. We give functionality to add custom fields, the one I mentioned in the payload, where you get an array of all the types you select here and save it. Once you do an added field gets added here, you can select data types as per your requirement, be it a text or a number field. So that is something you can do to increase the capability here. And on the configuration part, I think we have the essential highlighted things. This is something, the number of days. Okay, so this figure is in days, and you can always take a look at it to maintain particular sessions. By default, Savo gives out 15-day period. You can alter it as per your requirement. You can use and customize the one-time OTP that is sent for the 2FA purpose here. This is particularly for the SMS thing if you're utilizing the phone number. Uh, Identifier checkpoint is a use case where we give out and ask the users for a backend endpoint, which essentially will filter out users who actually want to get authenticated into your sites. So you can just return a Boolean value here, and the SAWO API directly take cares of the only restricted user access to your particular site. So that is how we use this identifier checkpoint. This is something which, if you're using the email thing for authentication, this is the main domain name from where you get the OTP part. So if you want to alter that, this essentially can be done from this part. These are another fields of changing the body, the header. I won't be covering that, but you understand how it is. This is particularly to enhance the design aspect of your form. I understand a couple of projects are already theme based, so you would essentially want the auth part to be customized as per requirement. So this is the part from where you can get this done. You have the input label color for the input label and how the text would be colored in this format. You have the border color. You can select as per your color scheme. This is the button background color, so you can select that. Text color for button, the background of the whole iframe which loads. If you want it to be in some existing theme, you can select. You can alter the text if you want, and this is something of the logo if you want. This is we give out as a functionality, and you can decide it for yourself. So I think this is where the UI capabilities increase of your project, so you can surely explore this. It's really good. For referrals, as I was mentioning, right, I think Sid has already shared the link here. Sid, it would be really great if you drop the link, and you can anytime go and sign up on this dashboard, enter your referral code here. You'll be seeing the extended capabilities of the number of auths you've received from by this referral. For yeah, and anytime you feel you're stuck somewhere, you can refer to the docs page, as I was taking you previously from this. So anytime you feel you're stuck, refer to the docs. I'm sure everything would be taken care of. And finally, this is the feedback section. We are really excited and would really want to hear how you felt about the whole process, the whole integration journey, and you can surely leave out your comments here. I think that would be all for the dashboard. And what I'll do is I'll take you through the next segment. Uh, hmm. Okay, so what I'll do is maybe take you through the sample app once, where you can go and check how it is working, and maybe try to make something like of a similar thing for reference or any purpose. I mean, you can totally go and take a look at it. Um, Let me quickly set it up. I'm trying to figure it out. Uh, Let me quickly set it up. I think you're able to view it, I guess. No? One second. Mm, yeah, okay. You guys able to? Hello? Yeah. Uh, okay, so yeah. Okay, I think it's keeping us, the active folks here. Sorry for the setup trouble, guys, but yeah, here it is. So this is the sample app I've created. I've put in the email as my identifier type, and once I go, I enter my email ID, I get an OTP for the 2FA thing. This is where I'll quickly take my OTP, and yeah. try to wait. Yeah. And as soon as I enter my OTP, it's an auto verification thing. So it's a 6-digit thing. It auto verifies. Once you log in, you can maintain and read why you, if you want, you can trust this browser and maintain multiple sessions across SAVO integrated apps. So once you do that, if I mark it as trusted, this is a simple, very basic IP tracker project that I've made. You can go check it out. It's I'll be sharing the GitHub links as well for the same. This is essentially my primary or my default IP from where I am trying to log in. Uh, this is a very simple project I made, so you can, if you want, you can go check it out for different ISPs, and you'll see how it essentially takes you to the pinpoint location of the specific ISP. And once that is done, I use Leaflet to map out the functionality. It's a simple React project, so across based on three components. What I would like to highlight on is how I've maintained the logout functionality. What I'll do is I'll show you that quickly. You can also try that out. It's a very simple thing. What I did, I essentially just maintained the user ID, as I was telling, right? From the payload part itself, you can use this to maintain session, give out the logout functionality from here. You can store it in your cookies as well if you want, if you feel like. So that is totally up to you. If I go do the logout, I'll be prompted once that you will be logged out. If I do, I get logged out, and once I try to sign in again, here I am, voila. The passwordless way, as I was telling. So it's essentially one-time OTP confirmation for the 2FA, and every subsequent time you are able to log in, it's the passwordless way, the SAVO way. Yeah. So I think for the sample app and its functionality, I think this is a very basic project, so you can anytime refer to it. But yeah, as I would like to highlight more on is how I simply integrated a 6 lines of code, and I was able to put the SAWO frame into my project, and whereof the any experience I wanted to figure out and take time to integrate my auth part. So that's how simple it is. What I'll do is I'll now share the link on GitHub and the code, like how I integrated and everything. So yeah. So yeah. Sir, if you could drop the link. So yeah, I think Sid can do that. Um, so I think, yeah, in the meantime, I think there are a couple of queries coming in, I'm sure, and there are a couple of unresolved or unquestioned answers you wanted to hear for. But what I can do is I can take them quickly at the end of the session. So that would be a small Q&A types of the whole session today. So yeah, I think that I'll be covering everything as required. Yeah. So I'll quickly share my screen again. Uh, I'm sure everyone's able to view it. Yeah. So this is a simple project. You can go through, refer the README, where you'll understand what I did and how I did it. These are the screenshots as I showed, uh, how it tracks and how the SAVO API frame loads, how you can customize it, how you can change theme. You can go and do that all from the dashboard itself. So I could have done that, but I did it. It was a very simple, basic project, so I did not feel like doing it for. But you surely go and try it out. These are the couple of things I built my project with, so you can obviously take a look at it. Um, what I'll do is I'll show essentially where okay, not log out. What I'll do is I'll show the details first. So this is where the whole detail for my particular ISP details, like the 4 card sections, where you're seeing like the location, the uh, GMT timeline, and the IP address. So this is how I do it. Another thing I can cover is maybe take you through the code of app.js. So this is how I'm checking for the cookies thing that I showed you, right? For particularly maintaining sessions and the logout functionality. you can set it up from here. Particularly if you want to go, you can take, I mean, this is like an open repo only, so you can go and take a look at it anytime you feel like. Uh, I mean, if you want, I can also show you the 6 lines of code where I told you like where exactly you put in the API key, the identifier type, and the container ID of the SAWO ID container where it loads the iframe, the div part, from the docs earlier, right? So, and this is a good practice we recommend you to use, because I'm sure a couple of these projects would be pushed up on version control, and we do not, and essentially do not want our API keys to be exposed, right? So what we can do is you can, store it in a .env file, your particular API keys, and you can fetch it directly into your config object here using this. And this is how I'm maintaining the session. And if I want to make use of anything more, I can make use of that. You can essentially console log and check it for yourself. Um, I think that will be all for this very small project. I mean, uh, you can feel free to refer to it anytime you feel like you're not able to integrate. It's built on React, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are already working with it, and you can anytime take a look at it. Yeah. Mm, I think now what we can do is maybe take this session uh, on the closing stages. And I think from the session perspective, I covered everything: how you can go read the docs, try to understand which stack you want to build for, understand how you go and sign up on the dashboard using the referral code link, I think, which Sid has already shared exclusively for the Hack This Fall 2.0 hackathon peeps. You can sign up, avail the extra offers for the number of odds, and create your projects, multiple projects. There's no limitations whatsoever. So go try it out. Reach out back to our amazing community. As I told, there are multiple channels. You can have discussions, feedbacks, any help you need, and anytime. I mean, you can surely check that out. And once all of that is done, we would be really looking forward to getting some of these amazing projects that you guys built on this particular fall. And we would like to evaluate and see how and what utilities and capabilities you have built it with. So we are really looking forward to that. I wish you guys all the best for it. And I think, yep, I think that would be all. And I think all the links and Discord links and the referral links are already shared and available to you. So do check that out.
Yes, everything has been shared in the chat as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. We recently also shared the referral link. Make sure you head over to that link, get yourself the free odds, and make sure you use them in your hackathon project as well. Other than that, wow, it was wonderful, Soumya. Thanks a lot for that lovely, you know, takeover through the entire SAO Labs API dashboard, documentation, projects, and whatnot. I'm
Yeah.
sure there would be a lot to learn,
Uh-huh.
and people have been already excited and pumped up to use our API ahead in their
Oh,
projects.
oh,
So
that's really
so
great.
so happy for that.
Yep.
Cool. So now is the time. Let's bring in some questions from the chat. Anyone? Any questions you have around SAWO API, the challenge, the dashboard, or anything else as well? Feel free to drop all of those questions in the chat. We will be picking it one by one. Just in case you have added your question in the past and we have missed it in the chat, you can just copy paste your question and bring it on once again. Cool.
Mm.
So let me just go through the chat once, real
I'll let
quick.
me take that away.
So there's one question from Varun. Can I use my odds across my different projects?
So yes, hi Varun. You can make use of your odds, because the odds are linked to a particular plan which you are signed up, or you are once you log into the dashboard, we maintain a particular plan for that particular email ID or user. So you can have n number of projects until the time you are consuming all the odds from your particular plan. You will be seeking the help for referrals or anything, but as long as that is under control, you can have a subscription time which is for lifetime. So anytime you get out of, or the month or the subscription expires, on the next month you get the same plan activated again. So that's how it is.
Awesome. Nice. Also, I would ask our audience to just add question once, not to spam your question unnecessarily. We'll definitely pick your question. Do not worry at all about that. So, a very common question in the chat is: How Labs open for open source contribution? Can they contribute to any of your code bases?
Uh, all right. So direct as of open source contribution, I do not think it's available. What you can do is maybe bring out Ishan on our Discord link where he can share his request features, and if he wants to talk to come a couple of our community members or like the mentors there, he can approach them, try to figure out what
Mhm.
and how he can contribute. So I think that is how he can go about it. I mean, as such, there's no open source contribution on the SAWO Labs
Got
code
it.
base. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely, make sure you join SAWO-Labs Discord server as well. I know it's one of the best thriving communities out there. You'll definitely see a lot of interaction, and things happening on the Discord server itself. So make sure you join it. I'll also again share the link in the chat. Jumping on to the next question, how up to how many projects we can create in the free basic plan?
Yeah. So, hey, Aditya, I think I already mentioned it, but I would like to highlight again. There is no restrictions on the number of projects you can create on a particular free trial which you are signed up with. It's just that you have restricted number of auths. So, as long as n number of your projects can utilize the sufficient or the expected number of auths, that you are good to go. I mean, that's all.
Awesome. One more question from She. What should we put as a host name while creating a new project? Is it necessary to give a host name?
Okay, Heishi. So it is essentially required for setting up all the web-based applications you want to integrate with SAWO API, because we have a matching sequence which goes around with the hostname and the API key you have set it up for. So we have a cross verification based on that. So for particularly web projects or any backend framework, anything which is running on the web part of it, you'll have to mention the host name. And for all the native Android or iOS applications or the hybrid apps for Flutter or
Mhm.
React Native, essentially host names are not required and are void, so you can avoid there. It's all set up. Once you create a new project, selecting Android, you will be able to figure out what's the differences. And
Right.
okay, so particularly if you want to ask what should we put in the host name, as I mentioned, right? For development environment, if you're running it, you can essentially put localhost, and if that does not work out for you, you can put out 127.0.0.1. And if you're pulling it out for a production server, you can just use the URL without any HTTPS backslashes. So I think that should do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Next question is: Any projects to integrate Sour Labs with Python?
Okay, so I mean, it's a very broad question in the sense ki what any projects. Essentially, we are giving out the auth part to your project, right? I mean, you can put it
Mm-hmm.
out to anything you are building using Python. If
Right.
essentially there is something you feel there's a utility or a use case where you can integrate auth to your project for any whatsoever purpose, if you want to store it in your database, if you want to monitor it, if you want to give some access rights, anything, it can be any use case. So if that particularly fits with your project and your project capabilities, you can integrate Savo Labs with it. And particularly
Yeah.
Python. For Python, we are already available on two of these popular frameworks called Flask and Django. So you can surely go and check it out. And we do have some sample projects as well, so you can use it for reference. It's basically a pip package, so that's how you can make use of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. One more question from Polok. How the authentication systems, considering it, is passwordless now?
How are the authentication
I'm not sure
systems?
about the question. Are you able to get it?
Uh, okay, so what I could think about is uh, yeah, there's some confusion or some clarity required on the auths and the passwordless, how it is and how it is our authentication. I hope I answered for Paula.
Probably.
Otherwise, you can surely uh, put in another question. It is so. I'll take this up. The number of auths essentially is monitored based on the private key public key interaction we have, which is natively stored into your browser. And if it's a mobile device, it's stored onto your shared preference across apps. So that's how we do it. And every time there's an interaction and the user has a successfully generated payload, we monitor that as a successful auth, and that is what you get for a free plan. It's around 5,000 auths. And for extended capabilities with the referral thing, I think it would be around 15 or odd. So you can make use of these multiple extended auths that you get to integrate several projects of yours.
Yeah,
Not having any restrictions to choose tag, and it's as easy as it is for web or for Android. I mean, it's just 6 lines, so go try it out. I mean, that's what I could make of. And passwordless, as I explained, it's with the public key private key interaction. That's how we are able to figure out who the user is and how it is coming from a particular device request, and that's how we make it the passwordless way.
absolutely. The SAWO way, as we call it.
Yeah. Yes, man. These are way.
Cool. Next question is from Vaj. Is there any UI customization from SAWO for mobile app development?
So yeah, hey Viraj, what I can say for this is the whole Savo API, which logs into your, which essentially is built on your particular screens on the mobile apps, is basically on a web view thing. Okay, so on the web view part, the whole iframe loads. You can have the extended capabilities of any UI components similarly belonging to your project theme or anything from the design section in the dashboard. I mean, I showed you, right? So you can go log into your dashboard, go under design section, select the project you want the extended capabilities for, figure out how you want to you want the layout to be, and then once you save it, directly once you load your project on your phones or devices or simulator, you'll be able to see and view the differences. So that's how you can do it for your mobile app.
Awesome. One more question. How many times user can resend the OTP for authentication, or is there any way, or way you can customize the same?
Okay, so as of now, there is I think a cap of 5 to 10. I think for a particular period. I mean, there's no restriction as such on a daily or an hourly thing as such. So I think it's just a cap period for around some 2 3 minutes, like it's around 10. But
Got it.
once a 2FA is done, and once you maintain the browser or the request you're pulling in from as trusted, the browser part, which I showed, right? So once you do
Yeah,
that, I mean, there would be no OTP requirement as such for any subsequent login for that particular project. So I mean, we are making these OTPs redundant, right? I mean, we do not want these to be sent across and not taken care of. So yeah, I mean, that's what I think how I can answer for Raj.
definitely. Cool. Earlier question was about Python. This is about Java. Does Savo provides Java integration?
Okay, hey Anushka. To be honest, I think we do not have a full-fledged package or a library for it as of now in for Java integration. But surely, what you can do is you can go and try it out on a simple how we do it for a simple basic HTML application. You can make use of that, render it into your Java components. If you're using Spring Boot, MVC, anything, whatever you feel comfortable with, try to
Yeah,
migrate all that stuff there. I think that should work around. I mean, that's the best thing I could think of. As such, there is no plugin or library available for Java, but I'm sure it is feasible to integrate using HTML. Yeah.
definitely. And again, if you're stuck somewhere, you know where to head
Oh
to.
yeah,
Head
you
over
know where to
to
go.
Savo
Yeah, yeah.
Labs Discord. There's a channel Ask for Help. You'll definitely get all your answers to the questions. So make sure you do that if you're stuck somewhere. Cool. Many more questions coming up. Thanks a lot for adding all your questions in the chat. Really appreciate it. Harkirat is asking, can you tell brief about how it is working, like the backend part, how you verify that it is a verified user, because he was working with Firebase authentication and it is a bit time consuming.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll tell you about the process itself. Okay, how it happens is once the iframe loads, there are an exchange for three particular endpoints in the process. You have the initiate. Once you enter the
Mhm.
email, you are responded to an endpoint called initiate. Once that is done, you are redirected to the OTP page where you enter your OTP and it's auto verified, which is the verification endpoint. And once that is done, you receive a token endpoint, which is essentially the successful login of that particular user. Once the 2FA is done, or once there's any subsequent login after the 2FA. So that's how it is done and maintained for these three endpoints. What essentially happens is once the email ID is logged in for the whole process,
Hmm.
as soon as the OTP gets verified, we drop in the private key into your browsers. Okay, and that is how we maintain the interaction of that particular identifier with the public key, or hosted on our servers, and your private key, which is goes in for the interaction. We verify signatures, build challenges, and that's how the whole process works. So I'm sure, if you are looking out to consume time and not consume time, I'm sorry, and make it a hassle-free experience, you can obviously shift it to SAVO API and try it out how simple and how easy it gets for you to maintain the whole auth thing. So that's how we do it. I hope I answered for you, Harkirat. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for answering that. And also, meanwhile, you are asking the question, make sure you take a quick screenshot of this live stream, share on social, share your learnings from this stream, tag Hack This Fall, tag SAO Labs, and just do it. So don't wait for that. This is how you can add value and, help others to learn something new at the same time. Cool. Let me bring up the next question from Vish. Can we integrate fingerprint authentication with SAO?
Okay. Hey, Bhavish. Very good question. Yeah, we can surely integrate the fingerprint authentication with SAVO. It is essentially a part of the whole product, feature as well. It's called the feeder functionality. What you can do is, if you have a native capabilities onto your phone and devices. I mean, for now, it is currently available only for native mobile apps, like the Android, iOS, React Native, Flutter. So what you can do is maybe essentially take it out and try it out for your native iOS and Android applications. Once you have the enabled fingerprint as a default screen lock
Yeah.
for your device, and you open the app integrated with Savo, you will be seeing key before even signing up. You are prompted with the device screen. So only once the authentication via fingerprint is accepted, you are able to input or verify your 2FA. So that's how we
Yeah.
add the added functionality of Fido with your existing project setup, and give you the whole experience of Fido plus the passwordless authentication way. Yeah, the Savo way.
Yeah. So to continue with Pollock's questions before about the authentication part passwordless way. So he was asking that how well does it work now based on security and all.
Okay, so this is okay. So what I'll do is I'll take it up from two perspectives. One would be the person or the client who is integrating Savo API, and one would be for the end user who is trying to go the passwordless way on the client app, right? So essentially, once you sign up, right, you integrate the project. Once you've done that, you set it up on using the 6 lines of code. You set it up onto your projects. So the end user essentially who's coming into your websites is directly logged in, and you receive the data back into your client end using the payload. There's data autonomy, right? I mean, we do not have any data coming back to the Savo API servers and stored there. So all the essential user data is directly returned to you. uh, the whole process of returning the payload, as I explained, is verified using the private key, which is dropped into your browsers or devices, and every interaction it has with the public key on the server of Savo. And
Yeah.
once that is done, you build on these challenges, you verify the signatures, and only once that is done, you take care of this sending of payload, right? So that is how
Mm.
essentially how secure it is. There's also a component in the blockchain segment, if you are aware. There is a public key, private key interaction of how the nodes are found. So that essentially is how also we are trying to integrate it. I mean, you can see and feel the relevance of the whole thing. So it's a very
Yeah.
critical and very key aspect to it, and you already well aware about how secure blockchains are, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, you can take a feel of it. And okay, and since there's no data coming back, so it's a boon for the client as well, right? I mean, it is directly returned to on the client end. You can maintain it in our databases, CRMs, sessions, anything. So that's how it's a good to go for both the clients and the end users. And we give out how you can maintain multiple sessions if you trust this browser. So that's how it's autonomous and secure in both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like, a bit of the answer is already covered, but still, there's one more question around the scene, like, how is Savo different from Google authentications?
Okay, so hey Varun, Savo essentially, okay, so for Google authentication, as you are aware, right, once you integrate it into your websites, you are prompted with the icon CTA which says sign in with Google, right? So once that is done, all the requests from that particular project, wherever you have integrated, goes to these Google servers. You have a set of responses that you can fetch from there because the data is already stored on the Google end, right? I mean, all these data from Gmail,
Yeah.
you have an extended uh, ecosystem of Google products, right? So you can obviously see how they have mapped in your data. So anytime you want to request, you can directly get the data from these Google servers and store it and maintain your databases, right? What essentially is the key difference and highlighted here is that we do not have anything storing or coming back onto our servers, right? The key highlighting
Yeah.
differentiator is that. So essentially, anytime it is logged in, it's just based on the email ID of the user who's trying to log in and the private key public key interaction challenges, signature verification. So that's how it is keenly different from Google Earth. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a highlight altogether.
Mhm.
Cool. Another question: if you log into SAWO on one website and save the browser, and if you try to log into on some other website, will we be asked for OTP again?
Okay, so as I can see, right, you once you save the browser, I mean, for that, I'm essentially trying to understand you trust the browser, right? So that is what I could make of. So once you do that on a particular project integrated with Savo, on that particular browser, on that particular window browser, to be precise, all the other tab applications you open which are integrated with Savo, if you have any once even verified the 2FA with an OTP and you mark this browser trusted, all the subsequent logins on that particular browser window on the tabs would be passwordless. I mean, OTP-less and
Yeah,
passwordless.
absolutely. One more interesting question: is there any system for security if user enter wrong OTP multiple times? Like, is there anything like IP block or anything from SAWO?
Okay, so Raj, as of now, there is something we have been trying to figure out, and we have already thought of doing something like this in the subsequent product roadmaps. What we can once you are, it's live and integrated, we will surely be having, announcements and all. You can surely make use of it once that is done. As of now, there is no restrictions on the IP end. But yeah, you can definitely avoid entering the wrong OTPs. I understand that part, but as of now, there's no IP blocking thing, right? So you can expect it coming anytime soon. Yeah.
Awesome. Stay tuned, everyone. You can't miss that one. Cool. Recently, I was working on a Firebase authentication and verifying the barrier token at backend is so time taking, and wiring it to front end was also time taking. Can you tell any tips to make the authentication work fast? Pretty simple answer though.
Okay, so uh, okay, so I mean, any tips particularly? I mean, if it is taking time, maybe you can go and check out for why it is taking time, and maybe delve deep into understanding why and what essentially is the key reason for it. Maybe if you're able to cache it out, or fetch it easily, or maybe reduce the time taken to get all these details. I think
Yeah.
that is how I can look out for it. And for I mean for the quickest answer, I mean just switch to Savo API, man. I don't know.
Absolutely. So, can someone remove or delete any sample project which they have created?
Yeah, Aniket. Hi. So yes, you can essentially remove. I mean, not remove, delete your projects once you create it. That is totally. I mean, okay. So if I'm taking it from a client dashboard perspective, the answer is different. And if it is something on a project hosted, some on a GitHub thing, I mean, I'm not sure if it is meaning in that way. So I'll take both the parts. If you are trying to create multiple projects on the Savo dashboard, there's no restrictions as such. So I mean, even if you create one for test, you can create another for production. You can have 10 more for test, another 10 more for productions. I mean, you can feel free to explore whatever it is. I mean, if it is on a GitHub subversion thing, and if you're applying for a challenge, and we would essentially want it to be hosted on GitHub so that we can try and make and see how it is implemented, what you have done. And but at the end of the day, I mean, it's your project and it's your repository. I mean, I'm sure you can do however you feel with it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yes, I would also love to say that awesome explanation, wonderful, answers to each and everything. Let's also give a pose for them to could take a quick screenshot from this
Oh,
live stream
okay.
so that
We
they
gotta
can
do
share
that.
on social
Okay.
media. Yeah, I guess they can pause
Mhm.
and take the screenshot. But let me see another questions from the chat itself. Do you use local storage to make user experience nice? Another follow-up question is: it would be better if we have a face authentication. it would be like a great experience, but it can have security issues.
So yeah, I mean, to highlight on the first question, yes, we do, and yeah, that's how essentially the key user experience or the whole passwordless thing works out across users once you have maintained the trusted thing on your browser. And for the second question, yeah, it would be really amazing to have a face auth thing. I think a couple of libraries here and there, and we can have the whole project to integrate via once you have the face auth, and only then you're logged in. I mean, that could be a really fantastic use case. And a great experience as well. But yeah, as I think is already shared, it can have security issues, right? So I think we're already aware, and we'll be reading about how it is faking, how the iPhone thing was not unlocking, and how it is if you just post out a figure or a photo, you are able to unlock it. I mean, yeah, there are a couple of things that we essentially have hindrances for, but the experience it would be really great. That I'm very much like to sync with. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So many questions coming in. Thanks a lot, everyone. One more question, which asks like, can we use SAWO for personal projects or use for our clients too?
Okay. Okay, hey Anushka. So yeah, I mean, you can surely use it out for your personal projects. There's no restrictions. Go try out all these stacks wherever you're comfortable with, and for your clients too. In the sense, if you're referring to, some if you're building something for a project or a freelance project, anything of that sort. Yeah, I mean, you can surely make use of it. But I'm sure you'd like to like bring it on and like showcase us as well, so how it is working and how you've integrated. So we would love to hear that. And if it's from the end user who will be coming onto your websites, so yeah, I mean, once you're integrated, that's how your whole login and authentication part would be sorted out, right? So that is how you would be authenticating your end user to your project. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Few more. Why there is pop-up for the trust this browser, like that thing which comes up? What is the main purpose of that, and does it have any issues with the browser?
Okay, so there's absolutely no issues with the browser or anything. So this is something which is very common, right? I mean, it's not just
Hmm.
on the first thing you might be hearing about it. Apple has it, Microsoft has it. I mean, every time you are trying to log in, LinkedIn has it. I mean, anytime you try to log in from the particular browser, you are prompted to make you understand if you maintain it, how simple it would be for you to log back in, right? I mean, so to extend these capabilities, there are some things, as I mentioned earlier, making use of these local storage capabilities and trying to integrate your user across the browser, the passwordless way we make use of it. So, I mean, that is essentially trying to make the end user understand, the one who's coming into your project or to your web app to log in. Key, what essentially doing this will highlight. I mean, once you trust this browser, this functionality of maintaining across tabs would be functional. And once you do not, and I'm sure there would be cases, right? When you go browse out on a different cafe, or if you go out, you look out for a friend's phone and anything. I mean, it could be any use case. So you're aware that this is something of a not very trusted environment. So you can just have a single session maintained on that particular app you're just trying to log in. So that is how the key differentiator for trust and don't trust is. Yeah.
Absolutely. One more follow-up question from Harkirat itself. What does the payload stores?
Okay, so I took you through the key value pairings of the whole object, right? I mean, it essentially has some key value pairs of your user ID, the one who's logged into your web app, the user ID which is provided by SAVO, the verification token which you can use. Okay, the successfully authenticated users is
Yeah.
verified using this token, and if you have any extended capabilities of the number of custom fields, so you get that as an array response. You can store it back into your database. So that essentially is the whole thing of the payload. You can use it to directly store it in your database. You can push it out for campaigns using CRM. If you want, you can maintain these sessions in cookies or anything. I mean, logout functionalities. So this is something which is very unique to the use case of the user. So that is how you can further utilize it. Yeah.
Definitely. And yes, everyone, make sure you share your learnings on social so that others can learn and know more about the same as well. You know whom to tag, Hack This Fall, Sour Labs. Use the hashtag Hack This Fall and Sour Labs as well. And meanwhile, let me see more questions. There are so much of interaction in the chat. Yes, here I get one more. How the number of authentication calculate for API limit? Is it like number of unique authentications or something other than that?
Okay, so the number of authentications are calculated based on the per authentication plan you're given, right? I mean, if you sign up with the free thing, you're given 5,000. If you buy it out, you are given more number of odds. If you use the referral, you have the extended number of odds. So
Yeah.
every time you have the verification thing done, on a subsequent thing, we calculate the number of odds, right? I mean, once that is done on every subsequent count, you get the number of odds. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Here I get one more. Future enhancements for the API. Anything?
Yeah, man, surely, Palak. I think what could come on top of my head is maybe we will extend it on the web app part of things as well, trying to have the functionality for the fingerprint. And as I think a couple of questions before, somebody was talking about face recognition, right? So, I mean, we could have that as well on top of this existing infrastructure, keeping the whole thing upgraded and giving out a great user experience. So I mean there are a couple of things which can be done here, man. I'm sure we'll be join the community. You'll be heavily updated about what's been coming up and what you can expect, when will be the new release and everything. So you can surely check that out from there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing, this is personally a question from my end as well. See, many hackers will be participating in Hack This Fall as well. So, from your experiences, what that one go-to tip or suggestion or any recommendation which you'd like to give to our hackers at Hack This Fall for having a great experience at a hackathon as well altogether?
Okay. So I mean, I'm sure all the folks who have participated or have come in on this portal are already well aware about how these things work around. So I'm not here to share my experience on that. I mean, only thing I can quickly think of would be the urge and the uh, perseverance you want to keep while doing or integrating a project in certain ways, because that is something you keenly believe in. I mean, that's the whole reason why you intent, the whole intent behind it, why you started off this project. So
Yeah,
do not ever divert or get your eyes off it, because that is the only thing or the key factor that will get you to the next level. I mean, from thinking and ideation to the production or the feasible project you can showcase or have highlighted on your resume, series, anything. I mean, could be anywhere you want to, but that is what you want to do and you did it right. So that is all I would like to say.
definitely. Wonderful thoughts. Thanks a lot for sharing that. I see one more last question as far as I can see. It's related to Sawa Labs entirely, like during the initial months. First of all, congratulations for completing 1 year of Savo.
Yeah, thank you so
And
much.
the question is about uh, did you expected a downtime or you shifted to this cloud providers in the beginning, or is there any quota with Sawa API as it with other API? The follow up question.
Okay, so I think this is a three-way question, and I mean I could see three questions out of it. Okay, so these downtimes are something which every company, in a good way, if you think of, would like to have. Like you have the portal and come in, like you have a drop down. But this is something we did not kept in mind, because this is a very critical part of any project or any web app, right? The whole keep the authentication. It's a very key functionality or a very critical functionality into your project. So we essentially wanted to have no downtime whatsoever for this particular thing. And what we did initially is, like, we started off building on a very small scale, as any other project starts off and begins with. But yeah, eventually, as we were building on top of it, we realized the understanding and the need for scaling it up as well. So we
Yeah,
timely had these migrations from across storages. Yeah, so we have it on the cloud infrastructure as well. And this is how essentially we ensured that, if we did our load testings and tried to figure out what's the number of odds we can load bear with. And that's how we prepared for the whole journey, right? I mean, how to scale it up. So that's how we did it. As of now, luckily we did not and had any downtime any of as such. But yeah, I mean, that is all for the downtime perspective. Quota, I think, is the number of odds you get on your plan. I mean, that's the only quota I think I could think of. And once again, if you share this referral thing from Hack This Wall, you would be availed with the extended referrals from the number of odds, so you can make use of that. Yeah.
Definitely, that is one thing you can go ahead and do it straight away. You do not need to think about anything. But yes, I do not see any further questions as of now. It has been wonderful round of answering all of your lovely questions. Thanks a lot for adding all of those things. Make sure you head over to this link and get your free auths as well. And other than that, let's trend hashtag hack this fall and hashtag SAWO-Labs on all our socials, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram stories, or anywhere you are. Don't forget to tag at the rate SAWO-Labs and at the rate hack this fall at the same time. Add the screenshot of it in your post, write the learnings or the takeaways from this session so that someone who might not have joined us in the live stream, they can also learn something new from this. You can add SAWO-Labs website link, you can add hack this fall registrations page link so that everyone can join us as well. Other than that, thanks a lot, everyone. It was super insightful and super interactive session, not just with me and Soumaya, but all you people in the chat as well. Thanks for keeping it super interactive and super live. So great to see all of these things happening. And other than that, do you have any ending remarks, Soumaya, for our audience?
So yeah, I mean, to end it off, I mean, this was a really great session I had, and you guys are some amazing folks that I took out the time on a very busy Saturday evening trying to listen to this and making understand of how you can integrate Savo API, right? So it was really great for me, and let's not lose touch. You can quickly join us back onto the community link where I'm active. There are other moderators as well from the Savo team, which are actively looking out and seeking help, trying to have discussions, anything of that sort. So you can surely join us back on the community. And I think that would be all. It was really great. Thank you for hosting me, sir. Thank you, Hack This Fall. It was really great. Yeah.
Definitely, pleasure is all ours. And now is the moment for announcing the swag giveaway winner. So the good thing is, for this stream we are having two swag giveaway winners. One for Hack This Fall, which we usually do in every stream. So for all of those who have been joining us from the past streams, they know that we announce one swag giveaway winner from each stream. So if you want to win, make sure you join us in each and every stream coming up ahead as well. But other than that, we do have one more swag giveaway winner that is specifically from SAWO-Labs, and SAWO-Labs does gives a lot of good swags. I've been using few of them right over here on my desk. But other than that as well, Soumya, would you like to announce the winner for SAWO giveaway
Yeah. Um,
on
I think
count of three?
on the
On the count of three, you can already see the winner name in the private chat.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll bring
Okay.
up the name. So I'll bring
Uh,
up the name on count of three
okay.
if you're ready.
Uh-huh.
So
I
let's do
think.
it on the count of three. I can see the chat getting
Okay.
very hyped. So make sure
Okay.
you add some drum rolls in the chat, some fire emojis or something like that to make it you know super exciting. But let's do announce the Savo giveaway winner in count of three, which goes now three, two, and one. So yes, Aditya,
Aditya,
you are winning.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Aditya. Thanks a lot for being super active. And you are the SAWO giveaway winner. So the SAWO team has been looking out in the chat. They have been, spying all those interactive questions and excitement in the chat. And they are super happy to announce you as the SAWO swag giveaway winner. So congratulations. Make sure you DM at the rate SAWO Labs. They have already joined Hack This for Discord server. So you can just DM them and they'll take it forward from there, all the instructions. Cool. Now, I would like to thank Soumya for joining us, for spending your time from a busy schedule and staying with us, you know, giving us all the insights on SAWO API and how it works. I can't wait to announce the SAWO challenge as well. Super exciting challenge coming up your way. Super exciting prizes as well to all the winners. So stay tuned for that and we'll be doing it super soon. Thanks once again, Soumya, for joining us.
It was really great, and thank you for hosting me, sir. All right. Bye bye.
Awesome. Take care. Bye bye. Cool, wonderful. Absolutely love this session. And I know you all are waiting for the Hack This Fall Swag giveaway winner announcement. So, any guesses in the chat? Let me know if you are thinking that someone else will win or you can also win. So, let me know your random guesses in the chat and I'll be looking out for your answers. I know we have been streaming for like more than 1 hour, but I am super happy to see everyone's excitement in the chat. You have stayed with us so far. and showed that encouragement, showed that enthusiasm at the same time. So let me see who thinks who can win. uh, let us know in the chat, and I'll be bringing up the correct name or the winner's name, so we can get to know that as well. Let me find the name. Cool. Without wasting further, time, let me quickly announce winner from this stream's SAWO. The winner from this stream's Hack This First Swag giveaway goes to Harkirat Singh. Thanks a lot, Harkirat. Everyone congratulate him in the chat as well. He has been super active in asking questions, helping others, interacting in the chat as well. I'm sure many of you were, but today's winner is Harkirat. So congratulations, Harkirat. Make sure you DM me on Discord for further instruction. I'll be guiding you along the way as well. Cool. That was pretty much from this live stream. Thanks for everyone for joining in. I'll quickly bring up some important links. So for knowing more about the upcoming speaker session, make sure to check out the schedule page on our website so that you can set reminders in everything else altogether. We'll be also doing a giveaway in every stream. So if you haven't you know won as of now, make sure you join our upcoming streams as well, and we'll be more than happy to see you winning some more swag giveaways. Other than that, if you haven't joined our Discord community yet, right away join it. It's discord.hackthisworld.tech. It's a super interactive, inclusive, and welcoming community out there. We do HTF Connects every Wednesday at 9 p.m. IST. For all of those who haven't joined us and have been following on our socials, might know that there have been some super interactive sessions over there as well. If you are a swag lover just like me, head over to our swag page on our website, hackthisworld.tech/swag, to earn some cool swags. Just flex your digital badges, wallpapers, and whatnot. And you might also earn yourself a Hack This Fall swag pack. So make sure you head over to that. Other than that, make sure you fill the feedback form. I'll also be sharing the feedback form link in the chat. Fill that out so that you can grab your certificates from this session, and we'll be mailing you all the certificates which are required. Other than that, there's nothing more than that you can do. Just register for Hack This Fall. Stay tuned with us. Join us in our upcoming workshop sessions, interact with community, and what else? Happy weekend and happy hacking. Thanks once again, everyone, for joining in. I'll take a leave now. Take care. Bye bye. Let me bring up the closing banner. Where is it? I'm finding it. Cool. I got it. Bye bye, everyone.